Good evening, friends. Today I'll speak about the strange new characters in the Sushant murder case. But before I say that, before I start on today's topic, I'd like to say something to the critics who have been questioning us. To those who say that the public and media are weaving conspiracy theories, here is what I have to say to them. If the public and media, big and small, did not raise these questions or make the crucial links, would the CBI have come into the picture? If Dr. Swamy and Ishkaran Bandari had not taken up the issue, would the CBI have come into the picture? If Arnab of Republic and Rahul Shivshankar of Times Now, because I see them as the only media who are at present sincerely focusing on this case in detail, if they had not focused on it, would there have been a clamoring for CBI? If actresses like Kangana Ranaut and Payal Rohatgi or actor Shekhar Suman had not come into the picture, would the CBI have come into the picture? Why I'm saying this is because someone from the government foolishly pressed the wrong button, saying that these are all conspiracy theories. The fact is that the government did not wake up till they were driven to a corner, and that too politically. When they felt Bihar was gaining ground, they decided to step in. My rejoinder is that if you mock the public and the media that exposes the truth, there'll be more surprises for you in the future. For us, this is not a political game. The death of Sushant represents the death of many people in Bollywood, including Disha, Samir Sharma, Sridevi, Jia Khan, Divya Bharati, Praveen Babi. These are the innocent people caught in the quagmire of filth, where politicians, Bollywood, mafia, media, PR, and police are all together. It makes me very angry when you question our integrity. You are in power because of us. We voted you to power. Even now, we do the hard work while you sit in the public eye and speak nonsense. The public are doing their work, and you blame them. Now, just like the peeling layers of an onion, the layers are coming off to expose each one of you. There is no hiding for any minister who supports Bollywood mafia or sleeps with them. Beware, the movement has started and will not end till justice is served. If the intention is to clean the system of corruption, murder, blackmail, money laundering, trafficking, as normally extolled in election speeches, you better get down to it. People are watching you. They don't just vote to see you all flaunting your wealth, your cars, and your power. Please remember that. Today, friends, we have some more interesting news to share of people we did not see earlier. Please note that all that I again mention is on public domain. I'm just linking the points to ask certain relevant questions. These people have not been highlighted on mainstream media except for one or two. The focus at the moment seems to be on Sandeep Singh, Pitani, and Ria. But there are other people in this scenario. Who is shielding these people? Let us look at it. Now that the CBI is fully functional, some earlier scenes have returned into focus on mainstream media. One thing you must bear in mind is that the Maharashtra government is watching CBI moves and social media with a microscope and pulling their PR machinery accordingly whenever they feel threatened. And it has already become very obvious. A simple example is when two Mumbai police landed up at Sushant's residence yesterday before the CBI came in. And already there was a battery of television channels already standing there. And when they asked them what they had come for, they said they had come to drink water. It's amusing, they did not get water anywhere else. Mumbai police, under their masters, are desperate. And you can certainly feel their pulse now. Two scenes were shown on several news channels yesterday. One which showed Sandeep Singh at the back entrance of Cooper Hospital, where Sushant's dead body was lying. He was acting in a very agitated manner while still controlling things. Now, there was a man with Sandeep who he was consulting and speaking to, a short man wearing a white shirt. Who is this man? Well, he is Suraj Singh, the man who co directed MS Dhoni film. What does this man have to do in the mortuary? Is what everyone will question. And how is he related to Karni Sena Surjit Singh Rathore, who said that Suraj Singh had called him and asked him to facilitate Ria's entry into the morgue to see the body of Sushant. Now, the whole family was present there as if they had come for a picnic. And there was absolutely no regret or sadness in their eyes. How are all these people allowed to enter the mortuary itself is shocking. But then, Mumbai police were not exactly playing by the rules. In fact, they were busy hiding evidence to protect someone big all through these 2 months. Okay, coming back to Suraj Singh, a preliminary research led to many images of him with Tushar Kapoor and Jitendra. So immediately I knew he was a part of the Ekta Kapoor Balaji brand. In fact, almost everything in Bollywood seems to land at the feet of Ekta Kapoor or Karan Johar or Salman Khan. Suraj Singh began his career with Balaji telefilms and motion pictures in 2001. His projects included Kyunki Saas Bhi Kabhi Bahu Thi, Kahani Ghar Ghar Ki, and Kasauti Zindagi Ki. He's a top player in the film production houses in Mumbai. He was the vice president in Balaji Telefilms from 2010 to 2016. In 2010, they launched Balaji Alt for alternative sensibilities. And by which I'm sure they meant sex-oriented movies for youngsters. For the films that came out in this sector were Love, Sex and Dhoka, MMS Ragini, and Dirty Picture. You remember, Dirty Picture was the film that was based on Silk Smita's life. And it exploited the mysterious death of the actress in the Tamil film industry. This death too was declared as a suicide. Now we all doubt it. Ekta took the salacious bits of her role and gave them to Vidya Balan, who had to strip and show us as much skin as possible. But that is not surprising, is it? Among other things, Suraj Singh set up a Balaji Telefilms in Dubai Free Zone. Now, interestingly, we see the link with Pakistani channels there. The Dubai office was started primarily to produce serials for GeoTV and ARY Gold, which were to be made in Urdu and Arabic languages. Balaji Telefilms had tied up with the Dubai Film City for this purpose. So you clearly see a Pakistani link here. Now, the Karni Sena fellow who gave an interview to Arnab is himself rather suspicious. Surjit Singh's ID shows he is from National Congress Party. And in his FB are sentimental posts about how sad Ria was feeling when he took her to the mortuary. But why exactly was he called by Suraj to fix the visit of Ria and her family to the mortuary is curious. If you do a little bit more research, you will know that he has sent fond wishes to Aditya Thackeray on his birthday. He's also seen with people like Javed Akhtar, Aditya Pancholi, and Suraj Pancholi. Cooper Hospital itself now is under scrutiny, with the CBI suspecting the authenticity of the post-mortem report and are planning to question the 5 doctors who did it. Now, going back to Suraj Singh, who is MS Dhoni's partner in Dhoni Entertainment Company. See, following his supremacy in Indian cricket, national cricket team, Dhoni was looking for to enter in various other fields. He had already entered into various businesses fields and also was the brand ambassador for various products. Meanwhile, reports were also coming around that he was looking to enter into the film industry. So his Dhoni's and Suraj's association started with the movie MS Dhoni, and Suraj became his partner in Dhoni Entertainment in 2019. And their first venture was Roar of the Lion. What we find strange is that when Suraj's links with Sushant case were revealed, we immediately received news that Dhoni had resigned. So, was that a coincidence? Or is there something more to it? Now, Suraj was also involved with the Balaji teleseries Kahani Ghar Ghar Ki, which featured Sameer Sharma, who died on August 6th mysteriously. This was declared a suicide, but with no suicide note. Does it not remind you of Sushant's case and Disha's case, which Mumbai police just dismissed as suicide? Sameer Sharma, a 44-year-old television actor who was found dead at his home in Mumbai recently. He was a part of Ekta Kapoor's Balaji series, Kyunki Saas Bhi Kabhi Bahu Thi and Kahani Ghar Ghar Ki, and the 2009 Hindi film, which was called Hasi To Fasi. He was last seen in the show Ye Rishte Hain Pyar Ke. The police suspect that he hung himself in the kitchen. Was he Sushant's friend? And did he speak in favor of Sushant? If he did, what made him commit suicide? If Mumbai police said it's depression, it would seem like depression is an infectious disease in Mumbai. Everybody seems to be dying of it. The deceased actor Sameer Sharma lived alone in a rented apartment. The police said the building's watchman was patrolling the premises on Wednesday night when he noticed Sharma hanging from the ceiling in his kitchen. He immediately alerted the police. Police officials took Sharma to a hospital nearby where it appears that he died 2 days back. And from the state of decomposition of the body, it appears he died 2 days before he was found in the kitchen. So no suicide note was found in the apartment where Sharma had moved in recently. Before he died, on July 26, Sameer had written a lengthy post on Instagram about mental health, saying, "Read this if you really cared about Sushant Singh Rajput." The last video of Sameer saying something vague and then sobbing loudly before he died seemed very suspicious. It was as if someone had forced him to say that. And when Mumbai police say it's a suicide, it rings a bell within us. Remember, Disha was also suicide and Sushant was also suicide according to Mumbai police. Coming back to the earlier point, what was Suraj doing at the mortuary in Kupa Hospital? And that too at the back entrance, interacting closely with Sandeep Singh. What are his links with Ria's family and why was he acting so protective about them? There was something very suspicious here. CBI will need to check both his connections with regards to Pakistan and his finances, as well as his link with politicians. Surjit Singh too seemed planted to misguide people about the criminal because he seems to be very close with the present party in Maharashtra. Another important link is that when Sushant murder happened, it was reported that two people were there who did not want the probe to happen. One was Baba Siddiqui and one was Sajid Nadiawala, a producer. Baba Siddiqui is a Congress fellow who was caught for money laundering in 2017. And Sajid Nadiawala is more famous for the strange case where Divya Bharti died when she fell off from a top floor mysteriously. Here also, it was reported that she was planning to expose the truth. It is said that he had informed, Sajid Nadiadwala had informed the police that social media should not post images of Sushant's dead body on the net. So during that time, I remember there were several warnings that such images should not be shown in public. Now, there's one question I'd like to ask Sajid Nadiadwala. Why were you so adamant that the dead body of Sushant should not be shown to public? The body was full of bruises. It was as though he was beaten, dragged down the steps. His bones were broken. Perhaps a stun gun was used to paralyze him and a rope to finally strangle him. In fact, Mr. Sajid Nadiawala, it is this crucial evidence that made people suspect it was a murder and not a suicide. And what was Baba Siddiqui's interest in hiding the case if the reports are true? This man is a Congress leader and a 3-term MLA from Bandra West constituency, a builder. Baba was often accused of protecting illegal slums and hawkers in Bandra. In 2017, The Enforcement Directorate raided Baba Siddiqui's house in Mumbai in a money laundering case and registered a criminal case against him under the Prevention of Money Laundering Act. So you would ask, how does he feature in the Sushant case? It's interesting to note that this was the third ambulance that came to Sushant's apartment. There was a third ambulance that came to Sushant's apartment. And it was a goods carrier that was converted to an ambulance and brought to take Sushant's body. It was the same ambulance in which Sandeep Singh was seen and which was taken to Cooper Hospital. In fact, there were 3 ambulances and God alone knows how many bodies. On top of the ambulance is clearly written MLA Andheri West, who is none other than Baba Siddiqui, the man who has strong connections with Salman Khan and Shah Rukh Khan. The vehicle is registered under the section goods carrier. Then how did it become an ambulance is the question. The vehicle details are vehicle number MHO 2ER 3355, Andheri West. Owner is Salim Hussain Siddiqui, registered in Mumbai West. It's a diesel vehicle and it's a goods carrier. When there were already 2 ambulances at Sushant's place, why did this third one arrive? And why did Sandeep only go in this particular one? Furthermore, if you get the chance to watch Baba Siddiqui's annual iftar videos on YouTube, you see that most of the names linked with the Sushant and Disha case, even remotely, are present at his party. Names like Salman Khan, Suhail Khan, Arbaz Khan, Aditya Pancholi, Suraj Pancholi. And then there are a lot of actresses like Jacqueline, Shilpa Shetty, Urmila Matondkar, Ravina Tandon, and a few starlets as well, like Mauni Roy, If you search Google, you will find several images of Aditya Thackeray with Baba Siddiqui's son, who is the Congress leader and first-time MLA Zishan Siddiqui, who wishes the Yuva Sena on his birthday. But then this can be dismissed as they are a joint party ruling Maharashtra. In my last video, I told you about Salman Khan's company, UBT. Uniworld being talented, taking ownership of Big Bang Media Private Limited, the holding company that owns Premier Talent One in November 2018. Now, Pakistan also has one of the biggest media houses named Big Bang Entertainment, which is a TV and film production house. Is this a coincidence or are they connected in some way? This we have to find out. If Balaji Films is working closely with ARY, one of the leading TV production houses in Pakistan, through companies in Dubai Free Zone, and if Suraj Singh is linked with the Balaji Films even now, there seems to be something more to the story. Because Suraj seems to be an active member of the Ria camp, as seen in the videos at the mortuary. What exactly is his role in the Sushant murder mystery has to be found out. Also, the fact that a Pakistani channel ARY features Big Bang Entertainment serials, is there a link between Ekta Kapoor, Salman Khan and ARY? And what are the links, and are the links only related to TV and movie productions, or does it extend to something more? These are questions I'm asking, and hopefully people will find out and CBI will question them, if there is. What I find really amazing is that people, it's just public on social media and other forums who are bringing out so much of information. I really thank these people for their dedication. As we said, ED is questioning Varun Mathur, co-founder of the company, which he started with Sushant, that is Inside Ventures Private Limited, on the context of money laundering. We also wonder whether Quan is more than a talent company. As you remember, I told you about Anirban Das, who exploited young girls aspiring to be models and actresses sexually, and who was removed after he was exposed in the Me Too movement. If the Me Too movement had not happened, would he have still been exploiting more girls? I strongly feel that the ED and CBI should investigate these companies and also if the links can be established. Thank you, viewers, for listening and participating and giving me your useful comments. Good night.